Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is Mail Tuesday, weekly series where I make excuses for not getting it done on Monday. My paintball trip got extended by a day and I wasn't home. I couldn't make the video, but here we are. I hope you like it. Let's get started. For everyone's benefit, what happens if a girl rejects you? This is one of the main reasons I've never asked out a girl. I'm 14 and I want to know what happens so I can stop being a pussy and get out there and do it. So I'm going to turn this around and ask you. What happens to your friends when they don't get what they want, right? You know, have you ever had a friend that asked out a girl and she didn't like him back? Do you think less of them? Do you sort of dwell on that? Do you, I don't know, give them a hard time? Do you tease them? Do you ride them about it? No. What you actually do is you just kind of tip your hat for your fallen comrade. Understand that, sometimes it goes that way and move on. That's what they will do if it happens to you. It's something that happens to all of us. You know, not everyone you like reciprocates it, and you got to give it a go. Otherwise, you'll never know. I'm a sweater. I sweat a lot. I've tried at least 10 types of deodorant, and they all don't do anything differently. No matter what type of shirt I wear, I always end up with sweat stains under my arms. I'm in really good shape, I exercise a lot, I eat pretty healthily, and I'm not a nervous wreck. However, I sweat like a pig. Summer's coming up soon. I'm really nervous about going outside because even when I wear a white t-shirt, there are yellow sweat stains that appear and it's really embarrassing. Any advice that you could give would be awesome. Keep up with the good vids. Alright. On the very basic level of stuff, my father is a sweater. I bet my father would rival you. I'm a diluted version of him, but yeah, that man leaves a puddle after he goes running wherever he sits. And at the core of it, my advice is this: the kind of deodorant that comes in a white powder is generally the most effective. It's not just, there's deodorant and there's antiperspirant, and the white powder stuff is both. It also, in my experience, does the best job of like maintaining your t-shirts right. If you get like the gel kind, then that's where that like t-shirt stains come from. But that's not why I chose your message, right? Why I really chose your message is that I feel like there are a lot of people who would have life-altering benefits by going to a doctor that don't, right? This sweat issue is yours, right? And oh, by the way, my friend had an issue with this at work, and they gave him special deodorant for it, and it was like industrial strength deodorant. He only had to use it like once a week, and then he used regular deodorant throughout the rest of the week. He said it actually burned his armpits a little bit, but that it completely solved his problem. And just like you, he had some sort of social anxiety about having sweat stains and stuff. And so anyway, medicine has cured this problem. Tell your parents, say, look, this sweat thing is a problem for me. I'm not even comfortable being outside. Summer's coming. Can I see a doctor? Maybe they'll prescribe something for me. The doctor will be like, no big deal. They'll write you something out on a prescription pad, and then you'll just never have this problem again. And that is the larger issue that I wanted like everyone else watching Mail Monday to know about, right? Your issue is sweat. Somebody else's issue might be acne, or somebody else's issue might be depression. But there are things that medicine has done for us that we should be taking advantage of. And, if you're, say, suffering with really bad acne and not doing anything about it, but all of a sudden, your social life isn't on the level that it could have been, and, your self-confidence isn't on the level that it needs to be, then don't sit back and just be too shy or too lazy or too whatever it is that's stopping you from getting this problem solved. Put your mind to it. Get it solved, and then, be in better spot. So, anyway, yeah, if you go to a doctor, they really have solved this problem. So do that. Testicular infection. Hey, Woody, I need help with this problem, even if it isn't on Mail Monday, so please help. I'm a 15-year-old boy, and I'm not sexually active with other people, but I do masturbate. I've recently had a series of very sharp pains in my right testicular sac. It has kept me from concentrating on school, work, and other activities. I went to the doctor and he gave me medicine to help out with the pain, but it still hurts. I'm sort of scared about my future because I don't know if I'll be fertile or not, and I want to have a family someday. I just want some advice from you, Woody, to help me get through this, and thank you for your time. Thanks. Oh, medical advice. So I'm always nervous about giving out medical advice because the extent of my training is watching ER and television. But let's go for this anyway, and it's going to end with go see a doctor. Here's the deal. Testicular infection is pretty darn rare. I've never even heard of that. No, I'm not a doctor. And a testicular infection for someone who's never had sex, I would guess, is even more rare. That's that's where I'm coming from on this. On the other hand, testicular torsion fits just about all your symptoms. It's more common on the right side. It starts with about either in infancy or in the onset of puberty, which is, you're 15, so that's about where you are. And it's a sharp pain, and sometimes it comes and goes until it can eventually lead into a really severe pain and infertility in one testicle, which is not, infertility hardcore, but it's not what you want either. It can make it a little more difficult for you to have a baby. You could lose a testicle, which is a cosmetic thing going on there. So, I think, kind of like the other guy, that this is not a situation where you should just be, letting it slide. You've got, in my amateur opinion, every classical symptom of a testicular torsion, which, I should tell you what that is. Your testicle can kind of move in the scrotum there, and when it twists, the vein that supplies it the blood that it needs to do its job gets clogged, kind of like a garden hose, right? You can kink it. If you twist it, the water doesn't flow like it's supposed to. That seems like what you may have going on. So I don't think that you just take a pain med and hope it works out. I think you go to a doctor and say, is it possible? And they can test for this sort of thing now. It's easy to do. And get that done. Tell your mom. Trust me, she'll respect your privacy and make sure that you're healthy and ready to go for when the time comes to start a family. Best of luck. Hey Woody, I have a small problem. So recently my sister started talking to this kid. She invited them over a few times and they've obviously done something, if you know what I mean, because they are in high school. The problem I'm having, she's using my bedroom. She's literally bringing this kid into my room to do whatever it is that they do. I was told by her friend that he also purchased condoms. What do I do? Do I confront her guy friend about this? Any help would be interested, and you can use this on Mail Monday if you like. All right. First of all, obviously done something because they're in high school doesn't quite make sense to me. It's completely possible that, even probable, I don't know, that she could go through high school without doing all that. But having said that, you have every right not to get this done in your room. It's if you tell her, look, sis, not my room. This is my bed. Beat your feet and go somewhere else. Then I think that she would be embarrassed. I think that she would, take it just like she's supposed to and knock it off because throughout your entire life it's your choice whether or not someone else gets business done in your bed. So and I wouldn't talk to her guy friend about it, although I guess you kind of could. I'd probably just keep my distance from him, work it out with your sister, who I assume you're fairly close to, and say, look, not in my room, not now, not ever. Swoop it in on best friend's ex-girlfriend. Hey Woody, I'm 16 and one of my good friends has recently broke up with his girlfriend. We used to talk a lot before she went out with him, and I've liked her for a while, but I didn't show it because I respect my friend. Now that they're broken up, I've started to like her a little more now. I don't know what to do about it. We talk every day, either in person or over the phone. I don't want to ask her out because she's my friend's ex. But the other side of me doesn't want to let her just get away because of this whole predicament. What should I do about this, Woody? Thanks and keep up the great work. This is a tough one, isn't it? Right? Like, on one hand, I fully get the bro code, right? I understand how that goes down. This is your buddy's ex. There's other fish in the sea. Can't you find a girl that wouldn't cause him some sort of, anguish or heartache? There's that. On the other hand, you don't just get to claim every girl that you've ever talked to or dated or like. I had friends when I was younger who would like a girl and then just make her off limits for everybody else. And on some level, I kind of get that. I mean, it's not nice to him. On another level, though, it's like, man, you don't just get to point at every girl and define her as off limits because, you like her. She doesn't like you back. Maybe she and I could be a thing. Maybe it would be great. And you're, cutting off this possibility because, you wish it was you. Yeah, trust me, we all wish it was us. So you got to chill a little bit. Now, here's a different situation in that, your ex actually dated her. I wish I had more details. I wish I knew like who broke up with who, right? If he broke up with her, then he doesn't get to break up with her and then just keep claiming her forever, right? That's not even the bro code. That's just freaking selfishness, you know? Let your buddy date your ex if he thinks that he might have a connection there. That's the deal. If she broke up with him, that might change things a bit. Maybe you need to go easy on his feelings and let that go. That kind of exists, but either way, it shouldn't be too hard to ask your best friend about it. If he is a good friend, and part of being a good friend is this, he will want you to be happy. He will want you to have some success in life. And if you say, look, man, I think we could have a connection, he should be down with that and be supporting you and move aside. You bit your tongue and sort of held back your feelings when he was dating her. He can take a turn and do the same thing. Alright, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're new around here and you like my stuff, you can click on subscribe in the top right. 2 videos you may have missed. The top one is about cheating spouses. It was inspired by this military guy I met, and he and all the other military guys in his like circle of influence had a similar issue with cheating spouses. And I don't know, it was kind of hardcore and deep. I thought it turned out well. And the bottom one was Wife Wednesday, which was another really good one. We have a good time doing our commentaries together, and she was funny. The outro on that was probably the best one I've ever done. Surprise video on the right, some links in the description, and have a good day.